we all need to understand here, because it's unfortunate, but what I'm about to say is the truth. First of all, starting to call this the Don't Say Gay bill is a very obvious assumption. Sure, we may not know that it's literally Don't Say Gay bill, but what do we know to make us think that it would be more of that title? Well, let's think. First of all, the people that support this bill the most are the same people who think that gay people are sinners like them, sinners, everyone's sinners, but they're worse because they won't repent to God and confess to their sins of being gay, strictly being gay. Therefore, they are an abomination to God until they repent. Therefore, they will go to hell. And they are against God, they're against the country, and they're against everything that we stand for in America. Now, if you don't believe that, then you obviously don't have ears to hear, because that's the basic Christian ideology, that it's not just bad to be gay, but against God, and basically should be illegal. It should be illegal. How do we know it should be illegal? Because gay marriage was illegal. When it became legal, it was a problem all along, to the point where Franklin Graham said that he just couldn't believe that they would pass such an ungodly law. Now, of course, when it comes to freedom and rights, their freedom and rights comes from just the biblical sense, not the actual universal term freedom for everyone. They say freedom for everyone, but let's not forget that by everyone they mean people that believe in what they believe in. They could say everyone, though, and this is the scary part, because the majority of the United States is of some form of Christian sect. So you got Catholics, Baptists, you can even mix it up. I guess Protestants aren't exactly Baptists, and you got different forms of the Catholics believe in different things here and there, like the Russia and Ukraine situation. They're basically, Roman Catholic or Roman Orthodox. But when they separate, it's probably when they decided, they probably decided to separate because they were like, hey, we want to be Catholic, but we want to be our own kind of Catholic. Everybody wants to be their own. This religious stuff is just so scattered around, so delusional. Everybody, since the beginning, has been trying to change this and change that just to form their own beliefs, which is fine, but it's not fine when the people from before are trying to attack these people, and then they get taken over by these people, and they're trying to attack these people, and that's what we're facing. So is it the Don't Say Gay bill? Is that what it should be called? Well, let's look at the percentage of how many Christians support the bill. Then I think we could weigh it out pretty well by that. How likely would it be that a non-Christian would support this? Well, the reason they wouldn't support it is not because they're evil. It's just because it's not an issue to them. Because it's not written in our doctrine that it's bad and should be illegal. And we shouldn't allow it. We don't have a doctrine that says that people shouldn't be themselves. That's the so-called Christian doctrine. Whatever scripture they choose to present in the situation that goes against their communist belief system. Because they go from literally talking about rights, First Amendment, Second Amendment, they're trying to take our rights away, they're going to turn America into communism, everything's going to, these people are crazy, they're woke, and all this, they want everything to be their way, and then they turn around and do the exact same thing. But it's okay that they're doing it, because it's of God. Do you guys understand where we're going here? It's happened before, more than once. Why do you think there are ancient civilizations and they're just done, and the people just disappeared, and we don't know why? Why do you think that happened? You don't sit and wonder if maybe it was something like this, escalated to the highest point, and then, bam, that's it. Let's watch.
After months of heated protests in Florida, a feud between the governor and the Walt Disney Company, and a pending federal lawsuit, the Parental Rights and Education Bill, referred to by critics as Don't Say Gay, is now in effect. In a legal motion this week, the state arguing what the law does do, limit classroom instruction on sexual orientation or gender identity for kindergarten through third graders. And what it does not do, stating there's no merit to accusations the law restricts gay or transgender teachers from putting a family photo on their desk or referring to themselves and their spouse and their own children. But for many, those words belie the true impact. Dr. Denise Soufrine, who is gay, has spent 34 years in Broward County schools, most recently with kindergarten and first graders.
I absolutely feel that we are moving backward with regard to civil rights and social justice. It's frightening to be a citizen in Florida.
Still, the idea of LGBTQ issues in school has struck a controversial chord.
These types of topics should be happening in our own home, at our own discretion, with beliefs of our own Christian values. This is not for our teachers to do.
A series...
Oh, there we go. I mean, look, I'm trying not to be judgmental, but I mean, look at this lady on the left. She, does that really say no sex ed for kids? Support parents. Okay, first of all, that's why there was fucking homeschooling and all these fucking Christian or Catholic schools that cost money to go to, by the way, quite a bit in many of them. Those schools are there for you to send your kids to where you want your kids to follow that certain philosophy only. So, let me get this right. So this is where we're heading, to where all schools should basically be Christian schools? Well, that doesn't sound very fair, does it? But it is logical to them, and it is relevant to them, and it is going to happen because they outnumber us. In the Bible, well, I'm about to say Satan, in the Bible, Lucifer, the most intelligent angel, God's favorite angel, perfect in all he did. He was also in charge of music, probably influenced Ozzy and many other bands. All of a sudden, decided that God shouldn't be on the throne. So Lucifer apparently just was prideful and wanted to be better than God. Or was it something more than that? Was there a more serious reason for why he felt the need to take the throne away from God? Do you think maybe it was because he heard God say that gays should be put to death? Do you think maybe it was because he had a vision that this shit was going to happen, even though God was actually intending to do right, that people were going to take it this far and this badly? Do you think maybe there was a reason why he only got a third of the angels and still decided to fight? Who would do that? Why would an intelligent person think they're going to win a war when they only got a third of the people? No one would think that. That's intelligent. We would say, well, that guy's dumb. But then we look at Ukraine. Oh, there's no way they're going to beat Russia. Oh. But here's the question. Are they? We don't even know what to believe anymore. We have to see something with our own eyes, or we know people are lying to us 9 out of 10 times. What do we believe? Well, we can definitely believe what we know and what we see and what we hear. And that's that Christians are behind this movement because Christian conservatives have created this movement. Because they persecute themselves, as someone once said. They turn their fear into our fear, which we don't even possess at all. I fear doing wrong, but I don't fear the afterlife. I fear what is here. I don't know what is after here, specifically or for certain, but somehow they do, and I find that very strange.
Polarizing meetings in Jacksonville, recently leading to combustible confrontations, and signs like this one reading, "Stop sexual propaganda at school."
We will make sure that parents can send their kids to school to get an education, not an indoctrination.
Now think about what he just said. As a Christian, okay, they've been pushing the Save the Children thing for a long time, and they seem to only save the children that they feel are worthy. The ones who aren't worthy, they send them to a gay camp, or they torture them basically with these, mental abuse strategies that they use to make them fear something. Or if they don't fear it, then well, they just make them feel horrible about themselves And then if they kill themselves, we're like, well, we tried to get them to be of God, but, they just hated themselves and hated America and everything else. And, there's nothing we could do. We tried to love them. And they didn't try at all. But I love how he says he wants parents to know their kids are going to get a good education, not an indoctrination. Huh. These kids behind him and beside him look like they've already been Christianized by a very famous version of indoctrination, which they call conversion in their philosophy. So, I would prefer a school where kids go to learn and have an open mind and discuss things without having to believe in. How about let's talk about something, entertain the idea, exercise it without having to say, okay, now you understand it. Okay, you have to believe it now. No, that's just, who does that? No one's doing that because you have no proof. It's just like satanic panic. You claim all these things are such a huge issue, but no one sees it. Even the point of not even understanding where the fuck is happening, where the law needs to be put in place. People are just literally just walking around like, fuck, what are they gonna do next? Can I even say anything? Can I say gay? And then gay real loud. I'm like, oh, better say that quietly. Not because the bill says that maybe, but because it doesn't matter what the bill says, because you're all liars. That's why we know that this is what it's about. Because you lie. Why would I believe what you fucking wrote in the bill? Why would that be truth to me when you believe a book that doesn't even have the truth in it because you turn it into whatever you want it to be, and then you have the nerve to go out and try to convert everyone? Do you want everyone to be just like you? Is that an exciting life for you? Is that interesting to you? To any of you Christians out there, I know the ones that will be watching my video, there's only one thing. There's only a few comments I have that are good. It's all the rest is Christians just saying stupid shit to argue with me. Do you want everyone to just be Christian? Is that to satisfy you or God, or what is that? Why can't you just go to heaven and leave people to make up their own mind? Isn't that what God said, that I have the choice to go to heaven or hell? Why the fuck are you all of a sudden gods? That sounds more demonic, more satanic to me. Your form of satanic anyway. Someone trying to trick everyone. That's all you do is trick people. So, it is a don't say gay bill because you're mad at the don't pray in public and convince all kids they have to do it and stand up with their hand on their heart and pledge allegiance to God and the flag when we know, I even knew as a child that this isn't right. And was it right or wrong? Well, God says you can't worship two gods, so how am I going to have pride, which is the worst sin, in a flag, and at the same time thank God for it? How's that going to add up? You tell me.
Now, several months after Governor DeSantis signed the bill, many details remain unanswered. The Florida Department of Education noting that it's still working to develop age-appropriate rules for students in older grades. Some high schoolers protesting the legislation in March were quickly swarmed by hundreds of detractors.
We were protesting a bill that would make queer students feel unsafe and not accepted. The exact same thing we were trying to protest against was what we were facing.
And this goes well beyond Florida. According to one group that tracks LGBTQ censorship, there are some 6 states right now with laws like Don't Say Gay right on their books, another 33 that have introduced legislation to their state houses. And guys, prior to 2020, there were no laws introduced anywhere in the country of that kind. Tom, back to you.
All right, Sam Brock for us. Sam, thank you.
Think about that, okay? This is the first time that this has been this much of an issue. Why? Because they link everything into their fake news propaganda agenda that they have by taking what they consider a small minority group. LGBTQ, they even say, these Christian conservatives, it's a small group. Well, if it's such a small group, then why are you so afraid of it happening everywhere? How's it going to happen so often if it's such a small group? Well, the next week they'll say that it's a large group and they're coming after your children. God says to test every spirit. Everyone has a spirit in my beliefs as well. But when I test every spirit, when I study these kind of people who come up with these ideas that you can't do this and you can't do that and you can't do this, and then they turn around and say they believe in freedom and they're against censorship and cancel culture, they're against their culture being canceled. Because they're playing God and they're trying to take away the free will of their brothers and sisters, of their own mother and father. They're putting them to death. Like what was once said, this is mother's death wish. To put fear into everyone. They took all female aspects out of every ancient philosophy that was considered good. And all the ones who have a female doctrine at all within it, it's bad. They took all the female disciples out of the Bible that were along the way, because we know they wrote that stuff for years and years. No females wrote in it? Yeah, they did. There's many females who were actually, guess what? Disciples of Jesus. And these women were very much respected by Jesus and the others. So why don't we hear more about that? That's because they've altered everything they can to promote their own ideas. They want their ideas to be first. They say they want America first laws and regulations, American first. But see, you gotta put regulations in there because they want to regulate people who don't agree with them and then turn around and say that people who don't agree with them are trying to destroy them and regulate them and they're just horrible. This isn't a fight though. It really isn't. If we just allowed them to do all this and didn't say anything, you know how awkward they would feel? If they were just like, we're gonna do this, and we're like, oh, okay, yeah, whatever. See the power of not letting them get under our skin? Now, I'm getting mad because I have to get mad to get my point across to those of you out there who are just ready to blow some shit up like a fucking terrorist, ready to go catch some churches on fire, fucking, draw, fuck you motherfuckers on the side of the church and shit. That's not what we need to be doing. I understand why you're thinking that. Oh boy, the thought's fine, but the action of that's not. That's what they want us to do. So then not only can they persecute us, but they can prosecute us. You understand? The best thing to do is the hardest thing to do. That even though it bothers you, play it off as well as you can, like Johnny Depp did in his trial. Play it off. If they say, you know what, we're gonna make it illegal for you to be gay, just go, all right, whatever. They'll say, well, what are you gonna do when you can't be gay? I don't know. Figure it out when I get there, I guess. They said, well, we're gonna ban all metal music. We're gonna make all music Christian music. Oh wow, that'll be kind of boring, or really boring actually. For the most part. We go, oh, you're putting the music down? And I'm not a big fan of it now, but that's all right. I'll just make some own music myself. Well, we're gonna make that illegal. Oh well, I guess just worry about when you catch me. That's what we need to start doing. They'll feel so dumb. They only feel good when they get under people's skin. They get a reaction. That's it. Look into it and see if what I'm saying is true. Okay. Everyone, you need to just keep your head up. That's the only thing I can literally say that you need to do. But all the things that I'm recommending, it's your choice. You want to protest? Great. I can't disagree with it. If you want to get angry, great. I feel angry about a lot of things they're doing and saying every single day. The majority of it. Well, actually, pretty much all they say, to be honest. Because I don't believe that any of them are true, let alone true Christians. But is that going to fix it? Haven't we already been angry for generations? And they just keep on persisting. What if we just gave them nothing back in return? No reaction, no facial expression, nothing. Not even one comment on social media. Just let them talk to themselves. Because that's what they do anyway. They hate themselves. And then they talk to God as if He agrees with any of these things that they're doing. Thank you.